The assassination attempt at Robert Fico really has shaken up the public opinion across the world. And to discuss the recent developments, we're being joined by Eva Mihočková, journalist, Slovak Foreign Policy Association. Good morning. Delighted to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm happy that you have me.
So, what is happening in the country right now? What kind of trends are we seeing? Is there more of a blame game, or is there more of sort of increased unity? What is happening?
Well, first of all, the good news is that the Prime Minister Robert Fico is out of danger. According to the doctors, he should recover probably in the course of the few next weeks. Well, now I'm talking about his rehabilitation. So we all hope that he will be fine, and that from the health point of view, he will fully recover. Maybe it will take weeks, maybe it will take months. We don't know, but at least what we know, what is confirmed, that his life is out of danger. On the other hand, what is also very important to say, and what is said, is that, yes, Slovakia is in the middle of a blame game. Who's responsible for this horrible attack? And this blame game has caused that the meeting among all political parties' representatives that was supposed to take place at the presidential palace will not happen, because the representatives of the government political parties refused to come and sit down around one table with the opposition representatives. This idea was suggested by the President of the Republic, Zuzana Čaputová, together with the elected President, Peter Pellegrini, last week. We all thought, and also all the analysts or all the commentaries thought, that this would be a very good start to really calm down the situation. This would be a very good signal that Slovak society and political representation is able to find some way to reconciliation, that they are able to try to get together, discuss. They were supposed to sign some kind of an agreement or memorandum where they would condemn all forms of violence, of aggression. Nothing like this will happen. To tell you a little bit more why, for example, the Minister of Interior, the Minister of Defense, Robert Kaliňák, who's also a very important figure of Smer party, said that they would take part at such a meeting only if Robert Fico would be able to come himself, which is not possible for the moment. So it rather seems like a pretext to refuse to come.
Right.
Then he
there seems to be a lot of
that
fragmentation when it comes to Slovak politics. And I'm wondering, because like you mentioned, there's a lot of blame game going on. And this event, whether or not, is actually going to push the Slovakian politics in a more polarized type of way, with them refusing to actually sit down and talk it out.
Yeah, it seems like that. We were all very curious to see what kind of fallout we will see from this attack. I'm talking about political fallout. Whether we will see more will to forget about the old quarrels and tensions and try to act like responsible politicians, politicians that are willing to move forward. But as I said, unfortunately, for the moment, the government politicians said that this is not a time for such a step, that they don't think that it would be a good thing to come together and sit down. The leader of the main opposition party, Progressive Slovakia, Michal Šimečka, said that he's sorry to hear that, because the opposition was willing to come. Michal Šimečka said that it's obvious that some politicians are probably not aware of the seriousness of the situation, and they only add more oil to the fire.
Right. I mean, I was just as I was listening to you, I was wondering when Robert Fico was attacked. One of the responses was that it was an attack on democracy, not only on this particular person, right? Because Sme party was democratically elected. Then again, Peter Pellegrini was also democratically elected. So my question is about Slovak society. Why is it so, sort of leaning in that direction where the narrative is so very harsh towards issues such as, Ukraine, for instance, right, or migration? Because, these are the same people who then were protesting just several weeks ago, right, when the media law was about to be changed. So what is happening there?
The Slovak society is very polarized, and it's very hard for me to comment on that because me personally, I also don't want to add to that blame game because this is something that we really don't need for the moment. So I will try to speak in a very general way, saying that in Slovakia, some politicians realized that they can win elections by using very aggressive rhetoric, by creating enemies and the need to fight them. They have started to radicalize their voters and inciting the radicalization among them because they know, it's evident, that it brings them success at elections. And
Right,
then
but I
this
mean,
is one
it
of the factors.
Right.
Go
I just
ahead,
wanted
please.
to add that this is, sort of very unusual that because Peter Pellegrini is also from the Sme party, right? Usually the president was providing sort of a counterweight to the prime minister, right? We had Zuzana Čaputová, but as of this summer we'll have Peter Pellegrini. So this was why I was asking why this shift, right? I mean.
Peter Pellegrini said that he will not create any counterbalance to government.
Right.
He said that he believes that this should end, this game of counterbalance between the presidential palace and the government. The truth is that the Slovak constitution doesn't say anything about creating this type of counterbalance on the side of the presidential palace. So he will not act in that way. Maybe I don't really get your point, what you are trying to ask me.
No, I was just, what I was getting at is this uniform shift in the direction of, well, I mean, for the lack of the better word, I would say populism, right? Because usually the society, as you've mentioned, was divided, but there was this balance between part of the society being in favor of a Sme party and part of the society being in favor of opposition, right? But now it seems that as of the summer, you'll have that sort of uniform government and uniform leadership.
Mm-hmm. It is still a division in the society. Well, the government has managed to get approximately 60% of the voters. So you still got 40% of the voters, I'm talking about parliamentary elections, that oppose the government. So, of course, these are not 50-50 situation, but still 40% of society that deeply disapproves well, it's not of the society, okay? It's 40% of electorate. Not all the people come to cast their votes. So this is still quite a large part of population that deeply disapproves with the government policies, and they are not happy about it. But I think that the major problem is the language that is being used. The language creates this atmosphere. It's much more the language, the aggressive and vulgar language that is being used in Slovak politics. It has started already during the COVID pandemic. That was already the time when we saw more and more vulgarization of the language in the politics, and this government only continues using expressions like pigs, rats, prostitutes to label their oppositions. They dehumanize their opponents, not only politicians, but also media, NGOs, even the prosecutors and police investigators that were investigating during the previous government the corruption cases close to Smer Party. So, in my opinion, this is one of the major factors.
Right, and the pandemic was the time when Robert Fico sort of regained his popularity, right? So this had this effect anyhow.
Right, like that definitely played a role with that incident right there. Thank you so much for joining us and shedding light on this complicated issue.
Thank you for having me.